Welcome, hunters, huntresses, and palicos. Today we'll be talking about our favorite murder hedgehog, Nergigante. Specifically about how he becomes Ruiner Nergigante and clearing up a few misconceptions about him. If you're only here for the theory and how exactly Nergi becomes Ruiner, then you can skip right on ahead to the time shown here. Alright guys, to really understand what Nergigante is, let's first look at the Nergigante that appeared before, the OG Vanilla Nergi. Nergigante is an awesome elder dragon that has hounded the other elder dragons throughout each elder crossing. He hunts and eats these elder dragons, this much is already known. Despite being the eater of elders, his prey would consist of the lesser of the elder dragons. He is a cut above them, but he would probably lose in a death battle against the truly enormous and nasty monsters out there like Dalamada, Amatsumagatsuchi, Yomam, or Gogmazios. What's untold here is that Nergigante not only eats elder dragons, but he does so exclusively. The proof for this is shown very early on in the game, before we've even seen Nergigante. Over in the Wildspire Waste, we see a Barot that's been used as a pincushion by Nergigante. Nergi is a very aggressive monster and he would attack non-elder dragons like this poor Basiljuice here, but this is an act of murder, not predation. The Barot was left uneaten and Giratodus stole that kill. Nergigante earns his nickname, the Extinction Dragon, by straight up killing any that dares cross its path. However, this means that in order for it to survive, Nergigante must hunt and eat elder dragons, which is why he was in quite a conundrum with this particular elder crossing. The elder dragon that arrived this time was Zora Megdaros. He keeps most of his body submerged and remains armored by a carapace that's a freaking volcano. Try as he might, Nergigante was unable to reach the yummy parts of Zora. Meanwhile, the other elder dragons out and about in the New World, Kushala Daora, Teostra, and Valhazak, were all hiding from Nergi. I believe we can all agree that Nergi catching a Kirin is about as likely as me catching an STD. He does manage to corner Teostra at one point, but then Lunastra comes in to save the day. Being an intelligent brute, he decides to leave, knowing that he was at a handicap. Some players seem to think that this is not the same Nergigante, but I assure you it is. The game borrows a page from the book of Tarantino and tells these events out of sequence because Lunastra was added to Monster Hunter World as a post-launch update. In reality, the guild has ever faced only two Nergigante, Regular and Ruiner. Which brings us to Nergi being repelled by the Huntsman at the Siege of Zora. The Huntsman's weapon of choice also plays a factor here. His longsword is the Wyvern Blade Holly. This is a poison weapon and it stands to reason that Nergi was poisoned. Nergigante has a superpower of sorts. While he may not have control of any elements, he has a supernaturally high regeneration factor. This may have proved to be a double-edged sword though, because regeneration is extremely taxing on a creature's bioenergy. So when we finally set out to slay Nergigante, as we can see from even the quest's name, A Wound and a Thirst, this particular Nergi was basically at death's door. He was starving to death and badly beaten down by siege weapons and the Huntsman's poison sword. His regenerative capabilities were hampered and he was barely hanging on. What we did at that point was basically a mercy killing. So then, what of Ruiner Nergigante? We know that Ruiner is a variant and not a subspecies, which means this is a Nergi that's gone through some change that any of his species could achieve. My theory is that Ruiner Nergigante is a Nergi that has eaten a Kushala Daora. Yeah. Well, let's see. First of all, let's consider the change in Ruiner. He's grown metal spikes, but as we can see in his ecology, they do not regrow, which can only mean that this metal is foreign to his body. So it's like a one-off buff that he got from a consumable in the form of none other than Koshala Daora, the steel dragon. We do know that unlike the elder dragons that migrate to the new world just to die, some species like Koshala Daora are endemic to it. The Monster Hunter team likes to show instead of telling, and they've shown us here by the discarded husk of a once rusted Koshala Daora. It may have even been this individual that fell prey to the Nergi. Nergigante uses this newfound power to climb higher up the food chain. He would not hesitate to punch above his weight, but becoming a variant and accruing new abilities allows him to overpower creatures like Shara Ishvalda, although really we did 99% of the work there. What this implies, it's what's truly exciting though, because we see him using the flesh and essence of those he subsumes. The metal spikes cause bleed, which could very well be a trait that Koshala Daora possesses post-shedding. However, Koshala's element wind is not really an element. If it was, let's be real, the smithy would have stuck it in a weapon by now. So, what if Nergi chows down on a more elementally inclined Elder Dragon? He could have a coating of blast powder, or fire breath, or his ejected spikes could act as lightning rods and bring down death and destruction to all those he impales. Imagine a Nergi that's eaten an Amiel. He could flood a zone and each of his slamming attacks could send out like mini tsunamis. Or he could even be a harbinger for an elder dragon we've not seen in world yet. A Nergigante could come bearing signs of an elder dragon hitherto unseen. Maybe poison, or he could be frothing at the mouth with the frenzy virus. His awesome new powers are portent for things yet to come. The world truly is his oyster, and he's gonna shuck it with tooth and claw. The story of Nergigante, however, is a very sad one. The very reason for his existence is the absence of us. In the old world, elder dragons were culled by hunters and balance in nature was maintained. In the new world, however, that ecological niche had to be filled and nature created Nergigante, a creature that kills those who have no peers, a creature that is not even driven by the biological need for reproduction. He truly encapsulates the phrase, "The candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long." The sad truth is that with the arrival of the hunters, Nergi is fading into obsolescence. What will happen now is anyone's guess. Will he adapt and find a new ecological niche? Or are we going to be the extinction of the extinction dragon? Alright guys, what do you think? Did all of this make sense, or am I way off with this one? Let me know if I've missed something here, and if you like this video, please like this video, and if you want more content like this, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep on hunting.